The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
Maybe we can still heal you. Why? So you could just lock me up? No. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
In the hell do you think you are?
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, let's
No, please,
Let's
Mr.
have it.
You don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. Okay?
So Oz, this week we are going to record episode 79 again. I would like to start this episode off by apologizing for last week. I made a terrible error in my my tech savvy ways with the software here.
Lack of savvy.
And I blew it. So first off, Oz, do you accept my apology before I continue?
Listen, anytime I can have, if this recording goes through properly, I will say, anytime I can have an actual, documented, factual thing of you saying you're sorry, I'll take it any time. But once again, there's a lot at stake because what the listeners don't know is that you said, "Oh, I messed with the settings again." Okay. That's cool, because like the first time wasn't good enough for you. So you say, you know what? I think I'm going to walk in that hole again. So, hey, let's go. Let's do it. And this is 79, dude.
I would also like to give a shout out and apology to our good friend Evan the Great. He was
and Evan was killing it, dude.
Yeah, he was also on the episode. We had an open mic, an impromptu open mic. And we had a great conversation. We touched on some female swordplay, Xena, you know, the bride from Kill Bill, and great conversation. So, Evan, an apology is also issued for you as well.
If this recording works.
Come on, man. It's going to work.
Of course it is. I believe this recording will work.
So... Again, to Oz, to Evan the Great, and to all the listeners.
This one is on me.
Say it.
Gentlemen, my bad.
I'm sorry. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, hopefully this records. We'll see. Hopefully next week we'll be on episode 80. We'll see what happens.
Huh?
So, Oz.
I'm excited to see.
You don't sound too. You sound like you're just like, yeah, whatever. This one's not recording either.
Dude, I feel like I have the liberty to say whatever because I know it will never show up. So this is called episode 79. Is called the Liberation Show.
I've already titled it "Take Two."
Oh, okay.
Well, let's go ahead and talk.
I was.
Here we go.
Say something really terrible, which is going to be take two E's for Marvel versus DC. That's not really good.
Yeah, not good at all. So, what we're instead going to talk about this week, the Flashpoint news that kind of shook up everything. Michael Keaton will be taking over, well, is rumored to be in talks to reprise his role as Batman in the Flashpoint, and he is rumored to have a role in multiple movies following. So what Oz and myself are going to do is we're going to kind of try to predict and determine where the DC universe is going to go with Michael Keaton and who he's going to mentor. So I'm curious, Oz, where do you think Michael Keaton is going to kind of lead this new DC EU, I guess you could say, and where does that leave characters like Wonder Woman and Aquaman and these Superman, Shazam, these established characters that we have so far?
No, that's really a good question. I'm happy about the Michael Keaton thing. Ben Affleck was still fine with me, but I'm happy about the Michael Keaton thing because of this. It's definitely, which may have been brought on by CW and all those crossovers where they did a really nice homage to all the old characters. And so, like Keaton coming back, you saw his chops when he played you saw his chops when he was the Vulture in Spider-Man. You saw his chops when he was Birdman. So he's definitely going to be an awesome Batman. I see this in a weird Batman Beyond-ish kind of thing. Like, if not Batman Beyond, I see him being like that point right before he became Batman Beyond, where he knew he was getting older. He had to get an augmented suit, and just to keep up with the time. So I think we're at that threshold, which is a great gateway to all the other movies. Like, from there, you could get a Batman Beyond with him being a mentor.
Okay. So you're kind of in the Batman Beyond boat as far as where you think this is going, because that's kind of been the one of the popular theories online as far as where this could go and where kind of fans want it to go. I've seen a lot of even myself. I think Terry McGinnis would be a cool new way to take it, and
Oh yeah,
I was listening to the Villains Demand show. I think it was a couple weeks ago, and this topic came up. And this is something that they've talked about, where there's a whole story from the comics that they can dive into that adds a whole nother layer to it. Me personally, though, before we get there, I just think there's a lot of characters we've yet to really explore on the big screen before we get to Terry McGinnis. And yeah, I'm being a little biased and selfish because I want a Nightwing movie. Like I think, or at least a Nightwing live action version that's worthy of some justice. Like it's shown it could be done with Titans. Like I think now we can definitely get a live action movie. I think now is the time to do it. Why not have Michael Keaton just kind of mentoring and showing Dick Grayson, who's just taking over Bloodhaven. He just became Nightwing, and kind of showing him mentoring Dick as far as taking over a city on his own. I think that would be a cool story to show. Barbara Gordon.
You love Nightwing.
Well, I mean, I do though, but obviously I'm a little biased. I can admit that. So if you don't want to do that, then give me a Nightwing and Batgirl movie. Like, I'm cool with a Barbara Gordon, Dick Grayson type, like detective type story. If you want to do it like that, a little buddy cop between those two. I think you could find a nice couple that has a great chemistry that can play off each other. And that's a different type of superhero movie.
Yeah, but we do like we had the joke. We do need a different type. But here, I'll throw this out as a hypothetical. Sign Keaton to a 3-movie deal because he's supposed to spark the new DC. Okay, sign Keaton to a 3-movie deal. The first one is him as an older Batman, like I just said, like an older Batman, figuring out, oh man, I need this new suit that augments her strength, that just to keep up with the times. But he's still fighting crime, and that way you get a gateway drug into an older Batgirl. You get some other allies that he's developed along the way. You get to see what's happened to Dick, right? And then 2, movie number 2 is he still is doing his Batman thing, solving a mystery, solving a crime or whatever. Still a little bit older, and then you start branching out until it's like, oh crap, dude, I can't do this anymore. And he says he has to retire, and that's the cliffhanger. And number 3 is definitely Batman Beyond, where you could do everything. And even if you do number 2, you can still introduce a Superman character to him, going, Bruce, why are you still doing this? You know, and that character can still replay again in 3 while you're introducing everybody else.
I think there's a good chance, maybe not good chance. I think there's a possibility that Michael Keaton ends up just being Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson could be Batman.
I like half of that because it might just be him in his classic Bruce Wayne turtleneck chilling. But here's the other thing that I don't know if people are talking about this. What's up with Alfred? Because Alfred's not, Alfred can't be dead by that time. You know, he's got to be older.
You got to go with Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, dude. You got to go with him. I think
he's the only guy who can kind of pull it off and still look old enough.
Yeah, the one thing that every single Batman movie has done, they have nailed Alfred.
Yeah. I agree. I 100%.
That's
every Alfred has been
that
great.
They've done. Every Alfred has been a step up. You know, it's
even
been
Batman
amazing.
Forever and Batman and Robin's Alfred is one of the best parts of the movie.
Absolutely. You know, yeah.
Well, look, before we get too deep into things, allow me to set the table. This is Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC. I am your host, Regular Scott. I am here with my co-host, the comic connoisseur, the mighty Ozzy Killmonger. Oz, what's going on?
What is up, good people?
And you can find us on Twitter at knee4Marvel vs. DC. That's the number 4. You can email us at knee4Marvel vs. DC at godefylife.com. You can also find us at Defy Life Pods. You can download our podcast and all of our past podcasts. You can also find all of the other podcasts from the Defy Life family. You can also download us on Spreaker, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, all those places you get your podcast, Spotify. You can find us there. Like, subscribe, leave us a rating. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. I think I covered everything. Speaking of the Defy Life and the Defy Life podcast, also check out the gear, Defy Life gear. You can find our T-shirts. Philip Darnell got his shirt, so he's repping the brand. You know, join the team, man. Get yourself a T-shirt. While we're speaking about the Defy Life podcast, Oz and myself, we got to be guests on a very different podcast for us. Something very much so out of our normal playbook.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, comfort zone is probably a better word. We were on the Cornbread Fed podcast, which is a new one from the Defy Life podcast, where Keita, Kwanda, and Queen Tessie, they speak about everyday life from 3 women's perspective, and we brought the male perspective to a fun game of cards. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to let you be surprised. You can find them, all those places that you can find us on our podcast. You can check them out. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. It was a really good time.
I will say it was something else. The ladies were amazing. It was, I will say this, man. It was kind of refreshing to talk about non-comic nerd stuff, but it was still kind of nerd stuff, you know, on a different level. It was good. It was really cool.
You learn a thing or two about Oz on that episode.
Or 3.
Or 3. Just know that Oz. Let me put this out there. Oz is a very trusting person. I think that's a good little teaser. So we'll leave it at that. But definitely check out the Cornbread Fed podcast. Oz, there was another podcast that actually gave us a big shout out this week.
A what? Okay.
Unsupervised, the spinoff, Money, West Coast Jay, and Hollywood Paul.
Yeah.
They gave us a lot of love, man. They gave us a big plug, so just shout out to them. We appreciate the love, man. It's all love from this side. They put out another great episode. They got a little biblical. I hope it's something they continue to do. And Oz, before you respond to Unsupervised giving us a big shout out, and shout out to you, Hollywood Paul. I appreciate you, bro. Let me ask you this about Money brought up a point about the Bible, and more specifically Judas, and how why isn't Judas heralded as a hero? When he's not saying he agrees with us, but this is kind of just a different perspective. Why is he not looked at as a hero when it's because he betrayed Jesus that Jesus ended up, everything
transcending?
Yes, everything ended up happening because of that betrayal.
Well,
I thought that was a very interesting point. I had never thought about it like that, so it jars my brain.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Well, man, come on. Look, between West Coast J, Money, and Hollywood, them dudes are thoughtful. As in like, I don't know how nice they are, but they are full of thought. They are thought provoking. They're all super smart brothers who, yeah. And so with Money's thought about that, not that I love that thought, but it's something to ponder. But I had always pondered that. Yeah, man, I get it. I get it's you, Judas, you Benedict Arnold, you betrayer. But for the Judas thing, dude, 30 pieces of silver. But his whole course is already predetermined. So he is very tragic. I know people are like, the betrayer, but someone higher, some entity higher than him laid out his course so that his son would transcend. So there's a lot of little issues with that kind of stuff, which is going, wow, man, you did that kind of stuff to this person and your kid, but just to get deep for a second, just to go, wow, but you have to remember, it was all for a purpose and a reason. I wonder if we're allowed to have a God and Jesus alternate universe where Judas didn't betray Jesus and Jesus lived to be 114. What would he have done then? What would have changed? What would have transpired around the world? And then he transcended. So
there you go. Well, those are the deep and thought-provoking conversations you can also find on the Unsupervised podcast. So definitely check those guys out as well. Oz, so since we missed last week, you got two Killmonger conversation ideas.
I thought you were going to plug my Twitter account because that's cool.
No, I mean, sure. Go ahead, Oz. What's your Twitter? Do you even know your Twitter?
Yeah. No, hey, you can find me at Ozzy Real. Okay, that is at OZZIEREAL. And listen, I'm trying to break that golden 25, son. Help me.
Hey, get that man to a quarter, man. Somebody get that man to a quarter.
Dude, listen, it's not begging. It's not a handout. It's a hand up.
Come on, man. Let's get this man to half of 50.
Come on, man. Hey, at least let me be competitive with regular Scott, dude. There's no way I can be, but at least give me up to that half century, man. Okay. All right.
Wait a minute, you try to get up to 50?
Is that okay?
That's okay, but I think is
that too ambitious? Is that too ambitious?
Yeah, that's pretty ambitious.
Well, as I posted, everybody keep being uppity. That's how uppity people change the world. So I want to be uppity. I want to hit 50, and I don't care if you're a bot. No, I got a million followers.
No, whatever, dude. All right, so Killmonger conversation idea. Hawk Pal, Hawk the Horrible, part of the Villains Demand crew over there. Mm-hmm. He has an email that he sent actually last week, but we already discussed that. And Again,
technical difficulties.
Evan the Great, Oz to the fans.
This one is on me, gentlemen. My bad.
I'm sorry.
And for that long dramatic, a little shout out to Evan for keeping us on track, dude.
So Hawk the Horrible reads, Love the show. I always enjoy listening. Uncle Oz is a national treasure, and I enjoy him going on his Trek rants.
He's got my vote.
So I'm looking for something new to read comic-wise. What are some popular comics written by black writers? I know you or Uncle Oz can help with that. And it would also give him something comic book-wise to talk about during this segment. Keep up the amazing job that you do to hold Oz in check. Also, where can I get a Take a Knee from Marvel vs. DC t-shirt? You can find those at defylifegear.com. And, you know, long sleeve, short sleeve, definitely rep the brand. And if you get a shirt, take a picture of it, post it on Twitter, man. Let us know. Oz, you have your Killmonger conversation. He is looking for some comics, some popular comics written by black writers, and he enjoys your Trek rants. So, Oz, your Killmonger conversation starts now.
And go. I'm going to tell you, man. I appreciate the moment to vent and to air. So, DC Coates, he's a writer for The Atlantic. He wrote this really interesting essay on a case for reparations. And no, it is not like everybody gets $1,500, you know, or something crazy. It was just like what to do to kind of repair our broken system. Because, man, dude, I keep thinking, you know, I go, man, America needs a lot of help, and we could do better. And then I just go, holy crap, dude, we are an amazing country when we want to be amazing. You know, we produce people hate it, but we are innovators. But part of our gift to the world is entertainment, and that is like our writers that we've given to the world, our actors, our directors, you know, even for good or bad, you know, we as Americans have been a tool of innovation and a tool of artistry for the world. Now, there have been plenty of artists and people like for 1,000 years, but that's one of our things, man. Like, you know, when Walt Whitman was like talking about this, like I sing the body electric, or like, you know, the leaves of grass. Back in the day, he was just like saying, "This is what America can do." You know, that we're so transcendent. That's kind of like what we are. That's probably where our problem is too. But back to that. So, Mr. Coates, he's an amazing writer, but he's also a nerd too. He's had a really good stint on Captain America, a whole amazing take on that dude, which is beautiful. And they gave him power over Black Panther, and they let him write some of the Black Panther stuff. Now, you can also go, I think it's like Christopher Priest, too, had a good run with Black Panther. And the directors who are also nerds, but they were older, like my age, or like Reginald Hudley and the Hudley brothers, they're the ones that were behind the animated Black Panther. They had a really good run with Black Panther. Their written comic on Black Panther jump-started the animated Black Panther, which to this day kind of helped with Black Panther being on Avengers Assemble, the cartoons too. I would also give so much props to Dwayne McDuffie. He's passed away a while ago, but he's great, man. Him and a bunch of people of color, writers and artists were like, "Oh, DC, you keep shitting on us. Okay, well, we're going to start our own thing." Very much similar, and with a little bit of like thought behind what Image did. They're like, "We'll make Milestone." They made Milestone. They said, "Oh, what if there was a kind of sort of black Tony Stark name like Hardware?" Busted Out Hardware, Busted Out Icon, Static Shock, which everybody loves to this day, and Icon and Rocket, the Blood Syndicate. So like he was so helpful in the game. There are a lot of black female writers I should name too, but those were just a great start. And I think if you read those, that is a great gateway drug. So.
Okay, very nice. And our second Killmonger conversation idea.
Wait. I get two?
You get two, man. I'm feeling real nice.
Regular Scott, you are, and I'm not crying. Someone's cutting onions. It's fine, okay?
All right, I got it. This one is from our friend Philip Darnell. He sent us a DM on Twitter. You can also send us those if you have any questions you would like on the show. And he reads, a friend of mine from work named, I won't read his name. I'll read his first name. Named Benny. I'll just read his first name. Named Benny.
Thank you. Don't blow that dude up, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to have a quiet life, dude.
Yeah, I'll just read his first name. Named Benny. Have discussed a topic that we wanted to know what Ozzy Killmonger's opinion was. It is redheads being replaced in comic movies and shows. Example, Jimmy Olsen, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch. Leave and hashtag leave Nick alone. Hashtag leave Nick alone. Let's get the ball rolling on that. Okay. I've actually seen more Nick slander after I released that episode, and I don't know if people are listening or what. So let's leave Nick alone. Hashtag leave Nick alone. Also, hashtag, this is all from our good friend Philip Darnell, hashtag be nice to Dick Grayson.
Okay, listen.
One more.
Okay.
And hashtag Star Trek rocks.
Okay. Now that, man, thank you. I have a whole Star Trek rant too, but
no Star Trek rants.
Hold on. You're asking a lot because you want me to leave Dick Grayson alone. Okay, you want me to leave Nick Cage alone, and then you want me to get onto the redheads, dude. Okay. Now I can't leave Dick alone. Wait, that was terrible.
Wow.
So let me say this: Dick Grayson is his own worst problem, and we know that. But I will, for this, because out of respect, I will not say anything bad about Mr. Bloodhaven.
This has nothing to do with Dick Grayson. He wants to know about redheads.
Well, he just said leave Dick Grayson alone. I was commenting on it, dude.
He was just doing a hashtag. He's just starting a hashtag. Why can't he just start a movement?
You know what? Thank you. We are all about the movements. You're correct. I will stick to the subject. Okay. So, but here's the thing, though.
Hashtag leave Nick alone. Hashtag be nice to Dick Grayson.
Hashtag don't. All right, wait. I started a movie. It was just called Don't. Okay.
Don't.
Wait, I don't get. Wait, what does he mean by don't? You'll figure it out later. Hey, so but let's all follow through though. You're saying that Scarlet Witch is getting replaced? Wait, sorry, that's a lie. You think Black Widow's getting replaced?
I listen. This
so I'll give you this. Black Widow is redhead, and they have not replaced her yet. And by the way, there was a blonde Black Widow, and she was nothing compared to the red. I am on the fence of what they're going to do for Aquaman 2 for Mira. I know Amber's gone.
I think this is a good time to this would be a good way to get Black Manta some quote unquote heat. To kind of really give Aquaman a reason to go after him. I would have Black Manta kill him early in the movie.
So guess what? The whole thing was Black Manta was like, for the thing was you kill my dad, but he's like, I'll give you number two. If you want to make number two down and dirty like DC, well, all right, Marvel, check this out. Have Black Manta kill Mira and their newborn baby.
No. I think it's worse if you kill Mira and you just leave the baby crying beside the dead mom.
Well, because the whole reason was that Black Manta actually killed his son.
Yes, yeah, that's partly why I was saying they could do that. Just change it to Mira instead.
Scott, that's so smart. Kill off Mira. You ain't got to worry about Amber anymore. And then you could have him just go, let's have a straight up battle and go ape.
Right, and he's just on a warpath. But what do you think about Jimmy Olsen though? Like that's a pretty big recast. That's as far as like the CW version at least.
Oh yeah, that was just so.
That's a pretty big recast.
Well, it's horrible. There was no reason for it though. You know what I mean? I'm in total agreement. Like that was just really bad. Like there's like no legit reason to like take him out. If anything, you would keep him as just. Yeah, I don't know. They were like, hey, Jimmy got black and sexy. What? Huh? Listen, let me tell you something. Jimmy Olsen has never had a problem being, as a redhead and nerd, has never had a problem being sexy because Superman is his best friend, okay? All right? That's enough clout for anyway. Hey, I'm going to the club. Yo, man, check your name, dude. Check your name. It's Jimmy Olsen. Oh, yeah, you can get in, dude. It's cool.
I'm black and sexy.
Yeah, dude. Like, what was that about? Supergirl.
Well, he's going to be Jax in the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, dude. That guy. I ain't buying anything, dude. And it was Jax. They ripped his arms off. I'm like, okay, I get you, bro. So what you gonna do when that guy gets cast as Mr. Terrific in the live action movie version? Okay, well, since you're being cruel and mean, what you gonna do when that dude gets cast as Power Man, Luke Cage?
Nah, they wouldn't do that.
Oh,
they wouldn't.
What'd you say?
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't. They wouldn't have the balls to recast Mike Coulter with that guy.
Okay.
They wouldn't have the balls.
When they're like Lucius Fox.
No. Okay, no. You know what? I can get with that one. He can be Lucius Fox.
Okay,
I can get with that. He can
Lark.
do that.
That dude is Lark.
He can be Lark.
Oh wait, regular Scott. That cat is the Bronze Tiger, dude.
No.
And I want to.
That's disrespectful.
And by the way, I meant his new name is LeBron's Tiger.
That's disrespectful. Dude. He is the Bronze Tiger is way better. Give me Michael Jai White from Arrowverse all day.
I love that. That's the name, LeBron's Tiger.
You just crack yourself up, huh?
Come on, dude. Come on.
All right. So those.
To answer the question, it's dumb. Why you don't need to replace the redheads, dude. Give the
especially the iconic ones because there's not a lot of them. Let them have their shine.
Yeah, look, so I guess because there is a definite threat that the last DC redhead is Speedy, and they're going to be like, "You're a Black Archer now."
Well, Speedy's not a redhead in the Arrowverse.
See, they already replaced him.
Yeah, it is Speedy. Not no. Well, Speedy's Thea Queen in the Arrowverse, so okay. It's a little different. But she's not a redhead. But I mean, you're right. Yeah, I guess that is it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make people upset because, like, if you look at the Earth 2 Society and Earth 2 comic from DC, dude, like, a spoiler alert, like, Apocalypse comes down, wrecks hell on on the alternate Earth, and poor Speedy, trying to live up to his like Green Arrow legacy, his mentor. That dude is eaten by apocalyptic dogs, dude. What a way to die.
I'm all for us brothers, getting more roles for the culture and whatnot. But I think we'll give back Jimmy Olsen. I think the redheads need their shine too.
Yeah, you ain't got to be no black 007 either. You can be 008. Dude.
Yeah, look, that's all I'd be. That's a whole nother topic that I don't want to get into. But that's all I'm saying about James Bond and 007 and all this stuff. Like, why can't you just be 008? What's the issue with being 008? Be 006. But that's a whole nother issue. I don't want to get into. That's a whole nother.
And I'm not trying to be. We're not trying to be controversial. If Black Lives Matter, then Black secret agents matter. Make that dude 008, and he's crazy and dangerous. And guess what? You have a whole world. It's like, wait, what? Well, then you mean 009 is like Chicano? Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You gotta be stupid, dude. People go down the path of least resistance. You know what I'm saying?
I'm moving on. I'm done with it.
Hey,
you know what? This is me.
Hey,
I'm
Kara.
ripping it up. I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Hey, Kara, Supergirl. I'm black and I'm sexy. Remember me? Weren't you a redhead, dude?
I'm throwing it away.
Yeah.
You hear that?
For 2020, throw it away. 2020,
Throwing it away. Starting
Come on,
fresh.
dude. Yeah, again, as I've been giving this ode to America.
This Killmonger conversation been going on for a while, though. Like, God,
we can do better.
Also, Philip, thank you for the question about the redheads. Appreciate that. You know, you do know Oz loves a good Mira's wig, so way to touch on his favorites.
And thank you for the Star Trek love too. And I'll try and leave Nick alone.
# leave Nick alone.
Leave Nick alone.
Let's get to a couple news tidbits. There's a couple news tidbits going around. You know, I love a good news.
Hey, can I ask you a question real quick? Because if you say no, I'm still going to ask you. So you might as well just give me, and your reply can be super quick.
Okay, all right.
All jokes aside, if they're doing this whole Michael Keaton thing as an elder Batman, elder Bruce Wayne,
you don't want to save this for the main topic?
All right, well, I'll get into it. Well, yeah, I'll wait. But I want to make sure we touch on it. But go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm gonna write it down right now so we don't.
All right, ready? So just remember, so you can bring it up. Who would you cast, or who needs to be an aged, older Superman, Clark Kent? Because they have to run into each other, dude. That's their friendship. That's the whole point of everything.
Okay, I'll do that.
That's just something to think about.
All right. Let's get into the smaller news, and then we'll get to some of the bigger news. We're not going to do a lot because we're going to spend a lot of time on the Flashpoint, and I think that's just kind of the big news anyway. So, Chewie confirms that he will be reprising his role as Baron Mordo in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie. Oz, I know you're a fan of Chewie.
I love him.
So are you excited about this? And are you hoping he gets more, get to really be a villainous role? And how big do you think his role will be in this movie?
Well, hold on, dude. But isn't so he's in that? But isn't he also in another movie too?
Well, yeah, but we're talking about this movie.
No, but so I'm saying, like, this guy, he's gonna be in 3 Marvel movies, right?
Oh, what other Marvel movie?
I thought he was supposed to be.
He's supposed to be in that Charlize Theron comic movie on like Netflix.
No, I thought he was supposed to be was it Modo or Mordo?
That's what I just said.
Right, but I thought he was supposed to be like. Is it the same movie where it's like a kind of Mortal Kombat? Oh no! I thought he was supposed to be in the Shang-Chi movie.
Yeah, but he's still going to be playing Mordo.
Yeah, but so this dude, think about that dude. This dude is in 3 Marvel movies, man.
Okay, so let's talk about this movie. How big do you think?
So my thing is this.
Okay,
it's in direct correlation to what you said.
Okay, all right. I hope
they're building this dude up to be a major player in the Marvel universe. If he's going to be busting out in 3 movies, don't you think so?
I didn't think about the 3 movies thing until you brought it up.
Yeah,
we've actually talked about that on the show. So I wonder. Again, I do want you to really kind of elaborate on it. I know you have thoughts on it. How do you think he's going to be a big bad, or do you think he is going to be the one that gets us to the big bad?
See, but so when you deal with Doctor Strange, it's always gateway drugs. And so, like Doctor Strange, they had a really good run on Doctor Strange pretty recently in the last couple of years, where he woke up one morning and he had trouble seeing in his left eye. It was this weird images and blurry, and it kept progressing, and he realized that his connection to magic was slowly being cut off. And so, as they say, with everything, you can take from Marvel to DC to any time they're dealing with any sort of magic stuff. There is always like Full Alchemist. There was the Full Metal Alchemist. Sorry, there's always a cost for magic. So I think Mordo is going to be a gateway to the big dude. You know? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember, people were like, "Oh my God, Loki! What?" But Loki was a gateway to Thanos.
Yeah, he was he was, and he was kind of the thread throughout. Mordo has he started on the good side. You see him turn toward the villainous side in the after credits, and you kind of see where he's going as far as taking out the wizards. So it's I'm curious to see how this plays out, because there's been all sorts of rumors of whether it's Doctor Doom, Galactus, Kang the Conqueror, as far as who the next big bad will be in Marvel. And I think you've brought up something that I don't know if a lot of people have really thought about, is the fact that he is in all these different movies.
Right.
It kind of brings the point, like, they might be building him up to kind of, as maybe he is the one who brings the new Avengers together.
No, yeah. So yeah, because like, hey, listen, man, I think you're gold with that. Loki.
Yeah, and that's
the
reason
why
I said it.
So he's
Yep.
the next one,
Yep.
and also, dude, you got Mordo and all this stuff, but I think there's this like, here. Let me get my thoughts together, because I love beer. So. Doctor Strange, you mentioned Doctor Doom. Sorry, you mentioned Doctor Doom. Dude, I feel Marvel is scared to actually try and do another Doctor Doom, because every time they do a Doctor Doom in any of their movies, it's just like, okay, you're evil. So I think they're scared right now until they can really develop who a evil Doctor Doom is, because it's a complete person. He longs for his mother. He's a genius in technology and magic, and he's the ruler of a country. And he don't give a fuck. He wants to take over the world because he believes he should. What they really need to do while they're doing all this revamping, make a fucking kick-ass Doctor Doom movie where you see him where you see how he is through his eyes.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
You did it with the Joker in DC, dude. If they really wanted to make a cool fucking Doctor Doom movie, because that could sell, dude.
The Joker is at least 4 to 5 times more popular with mainstream audience.
Oh, and at least more recognizable too.
Well, that's what I'm. So I think that's why a studio would be more willing to try that out with a Joker on a low budget than a Doctor Doom.
But check it. But here it is. You don't need a big money thing for this. I'm not talking about like fighting galactic people or superheroes. Show him, like, you don't even need to say who he is, but this guy who lost his mother, who was a witch. He spent all his time trying to find her and save her from being in hell. The noble cause. He wants to get his mother out of hell, And so along the way, he meets a scientist, a rival, they didn't see eye to eye, but he still kept his quest. As he grows older, he comes into learns what he has to do to survive and what power is, and it gets to him being a monarch. You could call it anything you want to, dude. That's a classic story.
That's easy. That's easy, huh?
Well, but dude, you start off by going, all I ever wanted to do was save my mother from being in hell. Who can argue with that?
You can't.
Yeah, so it's just a thought. I think they always go with, he's the one who fights all the Fantastic Four. He could give a fuck about the Fantastic Four. He is jealous of Reed because of his knowledge and the girl. Other than that, he's just like, I don't give a fuck about you guys, you know?
Okay. Yeah, and that's something we'll definitely touch on again, I'm sure. We just probably gave away $1 million idea there. Somewhere
Another $1 million idea, dude.
Somewhere in there. And we'll stick with the Marvel Universe. There is a rumor that when the first time Matt Murdock and Peter Parker meet as Spider-Man and Daredevil, they will be butting heads, and there will be a big fight scene between the two. Daredevil versus Spider-Man. Oz, first off, do you think there is any truth to this as far as us getting a Daredevil versus Spider-Man fight? And also, who do you think would win that fight?
Well, it's a good battle. I will say this, you know, it's a classic Marvel. It's a classic, not Marvel, classic just superhero thing. Two vigilantes go against each other. They don't know what each other's all about, and they fight until they realize we're on the same side. I can see it not being a long drag out fight, but just a like, oh, whoa, that kind of thing, dude. That's one of the best fights to me. Spider-Man is outclassing Daredevil with just strength, but when it comes to like all the senses and stuff, it is Spidey sense versus radar sense. You know, that's such a great battle. I still feel at the end of the day, Spider-Man gets Daredevil because they're in a city environment no matter what. But yes, that Spidey sense is incredible.
Okay. Yeah, it would be very interesting. Let me ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you want them to recast Matt Murdock? And if so, who would you cast?
I don't know. It's Charlie, right?
Charlie Cox.
Yeah, I don't know how Charlie will play on the big screen, though. That's the thing. I'm curious, but I am fine with him being Daredevil. But if I were to recast him, that is on the spot thing, by the way.
That's what I do.
Dude, let me? I don't think it's gonna fly. Let me. Can I get your opinion on something?
Yeah.
You know, catch me if you can.
Yeah.
Two people from that. What if they try to do Daredevil as in the lead, like the suave lead dude in Catch Me If You Can, or
Jesse Eisenberg, the guy who played Lex Luthor?
Yeah. Hold on. Or the guy who is the kind of Weasley. You know what I mean? He's the guy who can get out of any situation.
The old guy or the young guy?
The young buck, the young dude.
James Franco?
Yeah.
Oh no, not James Franco. It was James Franco. It's one of the Francos.
Okay, yeah. So like that cat, I've always liked him because he when he plays in the movies, he's very willy and like, you know, you cannot get a hold of him. And I always feel like that's a Daredevil kind of thing. That's a Spider-Man thing too.
You know. To be honest with you, I kind of see him more as a Johnny Storm.
Really?
Yeah, I see him way more as a Johnny Storm.
I think you say that because he kind of has that kind of cocky brashness to him. But
I've seen him in a few other movies, and he's very good at the overly arrogant character. I think he would just fit it really well.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, I think that's potential for him. I'm trying to think of and
as far as your Jesse Eisenberg thing, absolutely not. That is
really,
yeah, that's an awful idea.
All right, okay, I get it. I think maybe I'm thinking like American Ultra or whatever. That I was like, he's all right.
American Ultra. Oh, was that him in that?
Yeah. He went buck wild. He went buck wild.
I'd rather have Woody Harrelson as Daredevil than Jesse Eisenberg.
That's an older. Do you want an older gruff Daredevil?
I actually, now that I say that out loud, I don't think I'd mind that.
I can tell you this: I would not have an issue with that because their fight would be different. It'll be Spider-Man being all quick and like funny and stuff, and Daredevil being brash and hard and just like kind of scoping out the situation. I'm with it.
And I think Woody Harrelson can pull for now, on the spot.
For now, on the spot. Yes, on the spot. I don't mind that at all.
Well, since we're just picking characters from Catch Me If You, or Now You See Me, or no, not Now You See Me, Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can, yeah.
Or is it Now You See Me?
No, wait.
Catch Me If You Can is the Leonardo DiCaprio movie with Tom Hanks.
Now You Can See Me 1 and 2. Now you can see me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. With Morgan Freeman as the bad guy. And Michael Caine. He was a great. Hey, speaking of a great Alfred, Michael Caine.
Oh, he was great. Yeah, he's always Master Bruce. Some people just want to see the world burn. No, but then I was thinking of I was thinking of the Daredevil's abilities too. Yeah, dude, it would be refreshing to see Woody Harrelson, because I would like to see him as a lawyer, dude. He'd be great. Can I be a jerk? I just want to get your opinion. Just shoot it down as you will.
All right.
Matthew McConaughey.
I'm not one to really bet against Matthew McConaughey in anything.
Because you saw him as a lawyer, dude.
Yeah, I won't bet against Matthew McConaughey.
He's like, and Matt's a ladies' man, and Matt Murdock is a ladies' man too.
Yeah,
he can lose that Southern accent if he wanted. I promise.
Yeah, I could get with that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. I've got a One's Gotta Go that's a little different. And if depending on how... What is it, Oz? What is it?
You got a One's Gotta Go? Oh, Lord, dude. Okay, see, man. Okay,
but look, but it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek, or Star Trek. One's gone forever.
Captain Kirk, Storm.
Dude, that's a hard one. So.
Storm, T'Challa.
Bishop.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
This is Defy Life.
Welcome to the Defy Life podcast. Join JR, Thomas, and Al as they take on topics in sports, politics, current events, family, and more. Insightful, hilarious, always unique. New episode every Wednesday. Powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. Listen at DefyLifePods.com and everywhere else your favorite podcasts are available. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?
And we are back, so definitely check out the Defy Life podcast, the flagship of the network, with the fellas, the Battleground champion, Alvin Glenn, the Kingpin, JR, and Thomas Pooh Stevens. Check those guys out. They always put out a fantastic show. Continue holding it down, fellas. Oz, are you ready for a One's Gotta Go, or do you want to do the pick four?
Let's do the One's Gotta Go first. You set it off.
Okay. One of these 6 iconic black actors have to go, and I have put this on my Facebook. Make sure you're following us on Facebook as well. We had great conversation, interaction with that. One has to go in all his work, Oz. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, Lawrence Fishburne.
Will Smith, bye.
A lot of Will hate. Why why Will Smith going? Because that means no Fresh Prince, and Fresh Prince is iconic.
Now here's a little story. No, I think I could be Mike Tyson. Parents just don't understand. No, they're fun. Summertime.
All right.
No. They're fun, but they're not, to me, iconic.
Okay.
Will can go. Okay. Will can go. Last Legend, all that. He can go. All my other guys, they stay because each one of them like has carried a load and knows that they came from a load too. Like Sidney, you ain't even say Sidney Poitier, dude.
He wasn't on the list.
You know, the godfather of them all.
Listen, I didn't make this list, man. This is just a predetermined list.
This is a predetermined list by millennials.
Okay. Well, listen, you're old. I can't help that. I can't help that. Okay. We're generations. We're generations meeting at a crossroad.
Dude, my gray hairs got gray hairs. I'm old. I can admit it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, so.
Don't
like,
get upset because you were 30 when Will Smith was born.
Dude, I was not 30 when that's insulting. I was 28.
Okay, not bad.
Okay. No, dude, but it's just like, think about it. Out of everybody you said, you gonna take away Morgan Freeman?
I might.
No, you ain't.
Why wouldn't I?
You gonna take away Denzel?
No, Denzel's safe, Sam's safe, Lawrence is safe, Eddie's safe. It comes down to Morgan and Will.
Dude, so here it is. So I want you to think in your head and be logical about this. I'm not being mean. I'm just being pissed.
Be mad. You know I like causing controversy, so be mad.
Okay, good. I'm gonna be mad. I want you to think in your head, boy. You hear me? Okay, I mean it.
This guy just called me
boy. Dude, when I'm that old, I can bust you out, dude. I can tell you why. You want me to say it out loud? You want me to say it out loud? Why?
You can say whatever you want, dude.
Dude,
you're a grown man.
I only refer to you as a boy being condescending and because I changed your diapers before.
What you think I care? You think I care because you changed my diapers? Why would I care?
Dude, you should care. You should care.
You're old, bro. You was like 40 when you changed my diaper when I was born. I can't help that.
I was 39, dude. But still, you should care enough that someone took the time to do that, dude. You know, I could have just been like, yo, you fine.
Then you wouldn't have got paid.
I didn't get paid, bro.
Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You got to talk to my dukes.
I'm scared to. Can you please? It's been 30 years.
All right. Well,
so but seriously, dude.
Okay.
When you can't do whatever you want to. But if you really think about it, between Will Smith, Morgan Freeman, it's the voice too, dude. You're getting rid of all the BBC documentaries. You're getting rid of any funny laugh track you had. You're getting rid of any scientific infomercial you had.
Hey, listen.
Come on, dude.
The black guy that does the Allstate commercials, he can fill in.
No, Dennis Haywood.
He can fill in just fine.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
He is really good.
No, but I mean, you're getting rid of Deep Impact, dude.
Listen, it's not an easy decision, okay? But
Scott, and out of respect for you being a religious man, you're getting rid of God, dude. You're getting rid of God, bro. You hear me? Have you really thought about this? Hello?
You getting rid of God? I didn't think about getting rid of God.
Yo, man, can you just search in your heart before you make these decisions?
So look, maybe I need to get rid of Lawrence Fishburne. Maybe I just need to take a complete 180 and just get rid of Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, wait, you get rid of Morpheus, dude. Calm down. Easy.
Listen. You're making me make decisions that probably aren't good. So now I'm gonna get rid of Morpheus. Now we don't have the Matrix.
No, dude, and D covered too, because it's 187. No, dude, you can do easy.
No Ike.
You get rid of CSI Investigations the last 2 seasons.
Come on, man. Look, maybe now you convinced me. Maybe I should get rid of Lawrence Fishburne.
But you are getting rid of dude. Everybody knew when the Wachowski siblings cast a black man as Morpheus. Everybody was like, "Yeah, they cool, dude." So I'm just saying that choose wisely, dude.
All right, well, I'm not getting rid of Will. I'm not getting rid of Will.
Okay, well, dude, you can do what you want, but Morpheus has been recast as Danny DeVito because of you.
No, maybe they just
because of you.
Maybe they waited out and give Will Smith that role.
Oh, you said they gave it to Morgan Freeman?
Hey, you know what though? That might have worked 20 years ago.
Now, let me tell you who the Big Sid gave it to. Chewy, dude.
Yeah, Chewy would have been fire. Chewy would have been great.
Man, dude.
Look.
Chewy would have ate them alive.
Okay,
right?
okay. You just decided it. I'm getting rid of Lawrence Fishburne because Chewy takes the role of Morpheus.
Hey, can I say a bad thing? Can I bring up a bad thing, dude?
You going to anyway.
Please forgive me, and I don't mean no harm by this. And this is not judgmental, but yo, man, out of everybody too, Lawrence, dude, his daughter had a little crazy career, man.
Yeah, she's a porn star. Let her do her thing.
I know, so I'm just like, Lawrence, you Morpheus.
Hey,
go on.
So you know what? You talked me into keeping Morgan Freeman, so we can keep Glory and Shawshank and all that. Yeah,
dude, because man, don't play because you ain't messing with Denzel or Morgan. There's no.
Oh, I already told you. Denzel, Sam, and Eddie were already on the can't go list.
Matthew Broderick was like, please don't get rid of both of them. That's the only reason I have a career.
So, but Lawrence Fishburne, he's gone. Yeah, I'm getting rid of Lawrence.
Seriously, here, check this out. Check this out for real.
Well, you got rid of Will, so what's it matter to you?
Oh, I would get rid of both of them. You could have easily made this a 4 pick.
Okay, well, it's not. Well, it's not.
But check it, dude. You got rid of what you get rid of with Lawrence. You got rid of Morpheus, which is heartfelt. Then Chewy stepped up, but you got rid of Ike, the wife beater of Tina Turner, dude. That's not a problem for me.
Oh, all right. Let's move on to our pick 4. What do you think about that, Oz?
No, I can't wait for this. One of these is here forever.
I can't wait.
Nicki Minaj, Tekashi 6ix9ine, or
I can't wait. All right, pick 4
or Machine Gun Kelly.
Pick 4, and the other 12 have to be erased from history.
No, wait, hold on. I had a little audio difficulty. Did you just say pick 4 out of 12?
No. You're going to pick 4 out of 16. 12 will be erased from history.
Okay, so you saying 16 items without me having a pen and paper, how is this supposed to work?
Because we've been doing it the last 3 weeks and you've been doing just fine.
Okay, so your whole thing about pick 4, I have picked 4 beers already, and you're asking me to remember 16 things.
I can How about this? How about I read a row and you pick 1 out of each row?
Okay, if you hear me snoring, it is not because of the alcohol, it is because that is 16 picks.
Okay. No, you're only picking 4.
Out of 16.
Okay, here we go. Your 16 movies.
Oh, man.
Shawshank Redemption.
Wow. Wait, gone forever or keep?
You get to pick 4 of these to keep. 12 of these will be gone forever.
Got it. Let's make it money. Let's do it.
Shawshank Redemption, The Godfather, The Dark Knight, Schindler's List, Pulp Fiction, Empire Strikes Back, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Goodfellas, Silence of the Lamb, Whiplash, Parasite, Gladiator, Alien, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Avengers Infinity War.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Alien, hey, yo, read the first 3. The first 3 you said.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption, staying.
Okay, Shawshank. The Godfather and The Dark Knight.
I got you. It's Alien, Shawshank Redemption, and what did I say? Alien, Shawshank Redemption,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yo, honestly, I haven't even seen Parasite yet. That's on my weekend list.
Okay, so that should make your decision easier.
So I got 3. I just need 1 more, which will be. It's not going to be Empire Strikes Back.
Oh boy,
it's not Godfather either. I don't give a fuck about that.
Okay, nobody asked you if you cared about it.
Read me. Can you read me the last 5, sir?
Parasite, Avengers: Infinity War, Terminator 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Alien.
I'm gonna keep Terminator 2 because that blew my mind.
Okay. Terminator 2. Very nice. Okay, great. That was easy, Oz.
Wait. May, sir, I ask of you what your 4 are.
I'm going with The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh,
I'm also going with Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love that movie.
You damn right.
Yeah, I love that movie. I'm probably gonna surprise some people with this one. I'm gonna go with Silence of the Lambs. I'm a horror movie guy, so
Is that the truth, or do you just like fava beans?
I'm a horror movie guy. Why are you trying to come at me?
Dude, I'm not. I'm just like Clarice. What a sick weirdo, dude.
Sorry, man. Midsommar is one of my favorite movies of all time. So that's.
I'm gonna watch that, but I gotta tell you, and I'm not even. I'm a man. I know it. I believe it. I gotta watch that in the daytime, dude.
Have you seen Hereditary?
No. You are a horror dude.
Yeah, I'm a horror guy. And my 4th movie, I'm really having a hard time. I'm leaning towards Empire Strikes Back.
Ugh.
But I think I'm gonna go with Lord of the Rings.
Ugh. You know what would make that? You know what would make both those movies great?
What's that?
If my movie I have 2 movies for those 2 movies. Darth Vader actually has the ring, and he's transported to that universe. And then my other movie is just that Frodo has a lightsaber. So
great.
Yeah,
I can tell you this, Oz. That's not one of the $1 million ideas.
And I see Legolas in a TIE fighter. That's how much I hate both those genres.
Now, Legolas in a TIE fighter is something I might be able to get behind.
Jesus.
God, all right, one's got to go of your 4. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Alien, Shawshank, and Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
Okay. For me, it would probably be... It'd probably be Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, of course it should be.
But it's tough though because I almost want to get rid of Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I can't.
Why, dude? But see, that's a whole genre thing. It is.
It is 100% a genre.
Look, man, I know we're in the midst of all this rioting, but and actually it's not rioting. I apologize. I'm in the midst of all this protest and asking for justice is what it is. But dude, can we just get back to bring kind of full circle? Again, Indiana Jones, American, archaeologist, adventurer, that kind of thing. That was a whole genre that was going around, dude. It was great. It's a spinoff of Doc Samson, back in the day. But it's cool, man. It's
who's keeping that alive now? You know what actor was trying to keep that alive for a while?
Who?
Nicolas Cage. Leave Nick alone.
And
National treasure.
To be respectful, Doc Samson, to Alex Quartermain, to Indiana Jones, to really truthfully national treasure to Nicolas Cage. There's something about the great American explorer. Even Matthew McConaughey did that in Sahara.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Which arguably was a tolerable movie from Matthew McConaughey for me.
Nah.
So
you're being generous. Yep. Okay. So good. That's a good little one's got to go off of the pick 4 and did a little pick 1. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm putting these out all the time. Oz doesn't really interact with anybody, so don't expect much from him. But
I would if I could hit half a century, bro.
But I'm on there and I interact with people, so we have a really good time.
Mainly sending wrestling memes and tweets.
I do send some wrestling tweets. And speaking of wrestling, make sure you check out myself and JD on the Showdown Pro Wrestling Podcast. Cheap plug, courtesy from the assist from Uncle Oz. I wouldn't even bring it up yet.
Dude, I tagged you in, bro.
Yeah, you did. And you used the wrestling term. You tagged me in. I held the ropes and everything. Hashtag FTR. And I was like, you don't even know I've been playing wrestling clips during the show. You don't even know.
Dude, I as Batman classically says, expect the unexpected.
All right, it's time to get to our main event. I did play sound effects while you were doing your little gallop over there. No. So I was, yeah. And Oz, like, why don't you do your little cool sound effect? It sounds awful now. We were really good the first time you did it.
No, but does this sound better?
No, that's not going to do it. So Oz, let's get back. Our main topic is going to be Flashpoint, and Oz, I actually have some details about the Flashpoint movie that I would like to read and kind of get your thoughts on, and see if, first off, what do you think about it, and if you would kind of go this route or what you would change, okay? Mm-hmm. These are some of the rumored details from the Flashpoint movie. This is from the Culture Crave, at Culture Crave on Twitter. Barry Allen travels back in time to prevent his mom's death. Inadvertently, he creates another universe protected by Michael Keaton's Batman, who is 30 years older. Mm-hmm. This has no effect on the Matt Reeves Batman trilogy, and there will be no Thomas Wayne in the Flashpoint Batman.
Wait, there is a Thomas Wayne?
There will be no Thomas Wayne.
Because it's Bruce Wayne just being older.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are all the details. Just some of the rumors that have been kind of scurried along. What are your
question for you?
I'm all ears.
Do you want to have bow-legged running Flash, or do you want to have a totally different Flash?
He's got to go.
Yeah, and if he is in, man, wasn't he having a whole bunch of crazy controversy and being an asshole?
Yeah, he like, I think he tackled some woman or something.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so like, dude, if you have to have, like, the Flash should be legit, 10 minutes, what he did, boom, and then you go and then let's go for it.
Well, once he, I don't know. Well, you can recast him. I don't think anybody's going to be upset if you recast.
Yeah, ain't nobody going to worry about that. Dude.
Yeah, nobody's going to be upset about that. So I don't think that's really.
He's an afterthought, man.
Oz, you said you had a question for me that you wanted to ask about this. So I wrote down a topic. So what is it? Oh, yeah, who I wanted to cast as the older Superman.
Yeah. So, it's actually two questions. Do you see an older Superman in this whole thing? And then actually, who would you cast as that older Superman?
I would leave Henry Cavill.
Whoa!
I see no reason to recast. If we're not going to get a Superman movie,
because he doesn't age.
Yeah, and he doesn't age. And if you want to put a beard on him, put a beard on him. And also, I just seen, and you're not going to do a movie. What a better way to use a guy who wants to be Superman, who people love as Superman, than to just have him cameoing in different movies. That's the perfect way to use a character like Superman.
Yeah, dude, can't you see them interacting perfectly together? Having really good chemistry?
Michael Keaton and Henry Cavill would have great chemistry. I can see Michael Keaton just being snarky with that guy. Probably already done whooped his tail a few times.
Dude, and then Henry going, Bruce, I remember what happened. And also a legit older Bruce Wayne who has had all these adventures with Superman, but who also has kicked his ass before, who Superman respects, you know? So I would, that's dope, dude.
That's just kind of. I don't see any reason to recast Henry Cavill if he doesn't mind staying, and he's okay with not having a movie and just showing up. I see absolutely no reason why you wouldn't just keep putting this guy as Superman in whatever role you need him in.
And I'm gonna say it until he fucks up, dude. You want to talk about a treasure for the universe, dude? Henry Cavill is awesome. He's great. That dude is killing it, man. From The Witcher to everything, he's what us nerds need right now. So,
stand-up guy. So we touched on it.
Like, dude. 1 second, dude. Like, legit. This guy gets The Witcher, and like he legit trains on some Keanu Reeves stuff about sword fighting and the ancient arts of sword fighting, like the half sheath, how to fight with a half sheath. You know, that dude's deep, dude. It was that shows a lot of commitment. That's pretty good.
Most actors do that.
Dude, I don't know about that, dude.
Okay. All right. I don't want to get into a debate about that. I don't really care. As far as what actors do and don't.
Dude, you say tomato, I say you're just wrong.
Tomato. So let me ask you this then. What becomes, we touched on it, but I really want to dive into it because I think it's very interesting. What is going to become of Aquaman, Shazam, and the already established DCEU? Is that rebooted? Is that left alone like the Matt Reeves thing?
Say it.
Or what happens?
Regular Scott, say it. You want to say it, say it. What happens with Wonder Woman?
I don't think Wonder Woman's going anywhere. Like I think she's a part of it. I think Jason Momoa should be a part of it, but I'm not sure they know if they want to keep doing Aquaman.
But the thing is this. But here's the deal with all this. We've seen that Jason Momoa ages normally. You know, because we saw the time frame. But Diana can be Diana because she's immortal, too, basically immortal. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I seen this dude with a big ass beard and long hair. I can see him with graying. That's not a stretch for me.
I'm not talking about in the movie though. I'm talking about past the movie, after the movie.
Well, I don't know.
That's more so what I'm talking about. Like what happens to these characters after the movie in 2 years when it comes out?
You mean like in the movie, like where they are?
Yeah, like where do you think, like where are these characters going to be? Because wherever this movie ends up, like whatever the end game of this movie is, that's the setup for the future of the DC universe.
Well,
so
then
that's
why
kind of
can't
like
why can't we bring it full circle and show glimpses of his past Justice League team members? The King of Atlantis, Harden, on it, like sitting on his throne because he's fought with Black Manta, and Black Manta killed his woman and his baby, and so he's just ruling and he's seeing the devastation of what the world has done to the oceans. So he's a very hardened man.
But this more than likely isn't going to be that same universe, because if Barry Allen is traveling back in time, it's going to be the Barry Allen more than likely that we've established. And that Barry Allen, if he goes back in time, saves his parents, and creates a new timeline, that's a whole different, like, those experiences are very different. So it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, but you're still going to have an older Aquaman because it's set 30 years. You know?
But is he the King of Atlantis, though? Like, does he ever become the King of Atlantis? Because the only reason he did that is because Bruce, in this universe at least, you know what I mean?
I can give you another scenario which they might actually do. So there was the whole story arc on the Fantastic Four where Submariner had amnesia and he was a homeless dude. Literally, the King of Atlantis was a homeless dude living on the streets of New York. But he was had amnesia, was never around water. And so he could never utilize his full strength. He was strong, but not his full strength. So people thought he was just a really strong, crazy man, that crazy strength. Until Johnny and the Fantastic Four ran upon him, and Johnny used his flame on hand and burned his beard to reveal his face. So why not do an Aquaman like that, where he never reached his full potential, and he was burdened with the loss of his father, never finding his mother, and that just drove him crazy.
That could work, and it could fit into the story that they told in the Aquaman movie, because it was established how strong the bond was between Aquaman and his father. So that actually could be, and could very well be, a very good catalyst for it. The whole theme of the movie could be about relationships with your father, because if you think about it, if they were to do that Aquaman story and tie that in like that would really fit in perfectly with the theme of what's going on. Barry's trying to save his parents. You have to do the letter. He has to bring back the letter somehow to Bruce. Like, you can't do a Flashpoint movie and Barry Allen not bring back the letter. Right? I mean, am I crazy for that? Like that has to be an expectation.
Can I flip the script a little bit?
You can.
Why not do this? Just because since we know that Barry, not necessarily with the parents, Barry wanted to save his mom. So let's flip it and not make it the dad driven thing, just in this Me Too moment and everybody trying to be woke. Why not have it Barry goes back for his mom?
I mean, that's fine. I'm not really. No. And Arthur Curry is homeless and distraught over his not ever finding who his mom was, right? And then you got Batman. Instead of doing the whole Thomas thing, you could do the whole Martha thing, because Martha was the whole reason behind the whole owl stuff too. So you could do a flip on the Martha story. I don't like
Martha and Superman.
I don't like the mom thing for Aquaman. I think the dad in his relationship has been established. I think that's what you play off of. Now,
yeah, but you play off the. It's easy to do the dad, but to me, it seems like it's appropriate to do the mom because he doesn't know who he is without the mom. You know what I mean? Like, he never knows.
Yeah, I'm still with the dad thing. Their bond is what was a centerpiece of that movie.
Right, and if the dad passes away, he's pissed and angry. But imagine, like, he still has the loss of not knowing that he comes from this royalty and this underworld and this underwater world.
But I don't think the mom is as important because somebody.
We're gonna give shout outs to the lady, dude.
Yeah, well, no doubt. But I just don't think I don't think in Aquaman I think Aquaman should be about the bond with his dad just because that's established. But I was going to say I do agree with you. I could do the Martha thing with Batman because of how big of a deal it was made with Batman versus Superman. So that would work there. I could get with that and the Flash, but I think if you're going to do Arthur Curry in that type of role and you're going to do the amnesia thing with the dad, I think it's got to be the dad. I think that relationship is forged. And I think the mom should be the reason he remembers who he is. That should be what awakens him.
I can live with that. I can still, but to me, all those characters are still centered around the loss of their maternal figure, dude.
I know, and I'm not saying you can't do
but guess what? Maybe the more I was talking about it, and then the more you brought up that point, dude. I don't know if that's actually kind of cool if it's a loss of a maternal figure, but his mom actually is the redemption of the whole movie and brings him who he is.
I mean, that's kind of, and it'd be kind of similar. Well, not similar, but it'd be kind of in the same way they try to do Aquaman. But this time it would be a real, like, okay, this is who you are and this is who I am type thing. And it would be very different. So, yeah, I think that could work. So one character we have not touched on is Shazam. In my opinion, he had one of the best movies in the entire DCEU universe that was established. I thought that was one of the best movies about family, especially for comic book movies, in a while. Oz, what happens with Shazam?
I agree about the whole what the nature of family is. They're trying to figure themselves out, man. I think they'll pump out another Shazam too, but there still is so much potential with Black Adam. But maybe if they do introduce The Rock as Black Adam, we don't make it serious. We make it a really super fun kids movie.
I hope not. I hope we don't do that. But maybe because that could be its own thing, and you can still kind of it's been established because of the Henry or the Superman cameo, quote unquote cameo at the end of the movie, that it's in the same universe. But that can be an entire separate thing, even with the Flashpoint, and it could really maybe these two entities, because of their magical history and, you know, how long, maybe they don't change what happens with them. Like maybe their fate is sealed, you know, and what's going to happen is going to happen regardless if everything else around them changes.
Okay.
You know, and I think that's a story that you could tell with that as well. And two characters like that, I think you can make it work especially with magic and the way they're kind of linked together. I think you could make that work as far as why everything around them changes, but they remember everything too. Well, not remember, well, yeah, maybe remember everything. You could do it like that because I could see
there's
The Rock
always
being
there's always somebody who remembers
the
whole thing.
Yeah, and
Which
you
is
know The
very
Rock
odd.
is going to be like, why can't it be me? Let me connect all the movies. You know The Rock gonna want to do something like that.
Yeah, I just see DC biting off more than they can chew with all these movies just to try and catch up with Marvel. So I want to see what they're going to do.
So I just thought of an idea because we've talked about some of the rumors with Black Adam and how he's going to face 2 sets of JSA teams. That was one of the rumors. What if during the movie we get the Flashpoint? So he's fighting the old set of JSA members. We get the Flashpoint, and when he, you know, when everything resets, he's fighting a new set. And the Flashpoint just happens mid-movie. And obviously you would have to explain it somehow, maybe with a certain character or something like that. Or maybe he, you know, kind of, you know, sees Barry Allen and realizes who did it. But maybe that's the way you kind of explain it mid-movie, and that's why we get 2 sets of JSA teams. Or that could be a different way of doing it.
No, I don't see that being too crazy.
I mean that's nuts. I know it's nuts, and it's a lot of like cameoing.
Too crazy.
I mean, because you're gonna have to get the Flash in there. You got 2 sets of JSA teams. I mean, you're probably going to end up having you're going to have at least 1 or 2 other characters show up to show the change. So maybe that's a bit outlandish. Excuse me.
As I said, not too far-fetched, but yes.
All right.
Within the realm of...
Yeah, maybe. That might have been a bit much. Oz, tell me, what characters do you want to see Michael Keaton mentor? What characters do you want to see this Bruce Wayne mentor in the future of the DCEU? Who, if you had to pick 3, I have a couple if you want me to go, but if you have a couple ready, what 3 characters would you want to see him mentoring for the future?
Oh, I'm gonna be a total asshole. And I know everybody's like trying to like not think about what's going on with the world, but here it is. This is how we solve all the problems, and we make ourselves brilliant Americans. He mentors 3 people in 3 different movies or 3 different periods. Maybe they come together, but here it is. Terry McGinnis. I know it's McGinnis, but when you look at Batman Beyond, he certainly looks Asian to me, and he has some Bruce Wayne DNA in him. And so we get that. It solves our Pacific Islander Asian deal. Not trying to be too PC, but it would be smart. Then he mentors if not a Stephanie Brown, our girl from Batman Returns. He mentors her.
Carrie Kelly
as a Robin. You know, that would be amazing to me. And then third, and certainly not least, he definitely mentors Lark. And all 3 of those are different.
You always want Lark in something, man.
Yeah, you damn right. Especially since he got with Gotham Girl, dude. I was like, oh yeah, get with that girl, dude. Do it, Lark. So, and there was nothing better than seeing all of Bruce Wayne's boys in the Wayne Manor eating some cucumber sandwiches. Eat the cucumber sandwiches with eating cucumber sandwiches.
Get it out.
With your boy Lark there in a tuxedo too, chilling. I was like, yeah, dude.
So your 3 people are Lark. Who else?
Lark, Carrie.
And
also and Terry McGinnis. But let me finish with Lark.
But an Asian Terry McGinnis.
Yeah. But let me finish with Lark though. Because you kind of see that in Terry when you look at the Batman Beyond. I've always saw that.
Okay.
But with Lark too, he's just like, no, dude, you're not Robin, and you're not going to be Batman. You're a totally different person in the Bat family, which is what he told him.
Yeah, I ain't rocking with Lark, but that's cool. But, I get it.
I mean, you trying to
that's your guy.
My three will be Dick Grayson, and Dick Grayson.
Well, one will be Dick Grayson, but you know what? I could do 3 without Dick Grayson. That's not an issue either. I could do 3. I won't name Dick Grayson because just to prove a point. I think Tim Drake is an obvious choice. I think he'd be great to kind of do his own thing and kind of be the detective of the Bat family, and you could see Bruce mentoring him as a detective, and kind of see where that goes. I think Tim Drake's a cool one you could do. I also think you need a lady as well. Carrie Kelly is really cool. I really like that Carrie Kelly idea. I think, especially with the older Bruce, I think that's a great idea, different. I really like that. But Barbara Gordon, I think you can go with the classic. I think there is time for a classic. And I think Barbara Gordon's a good one to go with. And if you go with Barbara Gordon, you don't even need a Dick Grayson movie because he'll probably show up somewhere in that. And so I think Barbara Gordon's a good one. Now,
yeah, but the problem is this, dude. What about you have this whole Barbara Gordon movie, but then Barbara at one point is going to be like, Bruce, we need to talk about the rooftop. And Dick's like, no, Barbara, we got to fight crime. And she's like, that was a crime. So,
look, we were doing so good on the show. Why you got to bring up stuff like that, man? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, man. This is a new universe. The Flashpoint is erasing that.
True.
Flashpoint is the only one that's going to remember that is Bruce, and that's why he's always going to grin at Dick Grayson every time he sees him.
But regular Scott, come on, man. I'm not trying to start.
Why are you bringing this up, man?
But out of respect, you know, he's gonna be like, hey, Barbara, that was Clayface. That was not me.
She's not going to remember, so he's not going to bring it up. Flashpoint is erasing this. Anyway, my other one was going to be I'm at a split because I think Bruce should be mentoring someone a little bit older outside the Bat family to just kind of almost oversee them. Kind of like what he was doing with like Black Lightning and the Outsiders in the latest comic run they were doing.
Oh yeah.
So I think either Green Arrow or Mr. Terrific. I think he should be mentoring one of those two non-Bat family members as well.
But what does that mean to mentor him? Don't you mean he should be like working with him?
Well, when I say mentor, I think as far as being able to run a team. Like I think he should almost be kind of putting together I want it to be more of a Batman Inc. type thing.
I would love that. See that kind of film.
Yeah, and with that you can do your Lark and have all these different characters. But I think you need an outside Bat family presence for that, and I think that's what you reveal at the end. You don't tell them why Batman's there, why he's working with them, why he's got him kind of in charge of this team, and then at the end of this whole thing, you've got Batman Inc. Bruce Wayne is in charge. He retires from the Batman mantle, and you can have Tim Drake, Damian Wayne at this point. You got Terry McGinnis as Batman Beyond, and I think with an older, because your Mr. Terrific, he's going to be older. Your Green Arrow is going to be older than these other characters. So I think they could be the Martian Manhunter of the team, kind of
older Mr. Terrific.
Yes, I think that would be awesome. Or you could do Black Lightning is another one that could work big screen. I personally would do Mr. Terrific because of his intellect. But
I know that's why I like to use him too.
That's kind of what I would want to do.
Because it wouldn't make more sense to use a Mr. Terrific if he's trying to do a Batman Inc. Because they're hoping to build this whole syndicate around the world.
Yeah, it would make sense that he would recruit. That Mr. Terrific would be one of the first recruits, and then you bring in like a Natasha Irons, who would be another wizard, masterful mind that you would just take, want to bring into something like that. That's two black characters who you could easily put on the big screen right now that could deserve a little limelight. So that's where I'm at with the three characters, not including Dick Grayson.
I love that. That's great.
So, Oz, any final thoughts on the Flashpoint movie? Anything specific that you want to see out of this movie?
Who's the villain?
That's a good question. That's probably going to be a reverse Flash, right? I mean, Flashpoint.
Well, then that means he's one of the villains. You got to see. You're throwing out all this stuff, dude. So then you're going, ooh, is Vandal Savage in here? Is Lex Luthor in this joint? You know, what's it? Are some of the superheroes villains now? So that's what I'm curious about.
I think if you do a Flashpoint movie, you got to do it right, and I think you got to give us a Amazon Atlantean war. Like, you got to have Jason Momoa and Wonder Woman fighting each other.
God, or at least, can we see some scars like Jason Momoa, gray haired, missing an eye from battling the Amazonians,
and have Wonder Woman be the one that took it.
Yeah, you know, so you only got to put crazy mirror in it. Be like they hate each other for this reason, or yo, I'm trying to get crazy on this one. Like flip the script, dude. Screw that. Keep it real. If Aquaman lost a hand, he lost an arm to Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman has a patch from losing an eye to Jason because she has blinded herself before.
Now I'm gonna do you one better. Wonder Woman took that eye. She took Aquaman's eye, like you said. She's got the patch, like you said at first. Wonder Woman took that eye. Aquaman came and killed Steve Trevor.
Oh, that hurt. That's hurtful, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt Diana. And then you can kill off Mira and all that. And Diana went on a war path.
Wait, Aquaman didn't kill Diana's mom, did he? Oh Lord.
Nah, not yet.
Oh Lord! Oh no!
Not yet.
No! He didn't. The boy, they're going to be at war forever.
So
because hey, you know what? I would hate for him to have to do that, where she becomes the queen of the Amazons because of that, and hates his ass.
Or maybe it wasn't Aquaman, and he was set up by Ocean Master, and Ocean Master killed her, and he set it up to set this war up.
Dude, no, see, look at you. Until the plot thickens, and then you find out it was Black Manta and Ocean Master.
I love it.
I
love it.
And homeboy lost an eye, and I don't know how you repair friendships after that, dude. I don't know how you do it.
Man. Oh no! Michael Keaton's Batman is there in the middle of it all. He has stayed neutral through all of this. He's like, I'm not getting in the middle of it.
But he uncovers the plot because he's the greatest detective in the world.
Come on, man! We just wrote the movie.
That's a good one, dude. That's a great one.
We just laid out the plot right there. There's nothing left for them to do. All they have to do is add some effects, cast some people, and make some cool dialogue.
You can flip it. You can put him in a suit every once in a while, but keep him in his Bruce Wayne thing, figuring out this whole thing, and they can travel around the world figuring this thing out.
And then guess who shows up at the end? Calder. And guess who's playing Calder? Aqualad.
Oh, dude.
Guess who's playing him?
Who? Oh no.
Guess who's playing him?
Who's playing Calder?
My man, the Guardian. Jimmy Olsen.
Of course he is, dude. Of course. So look, dude, you do that. But what a way to bridge the gap, right?
No, I think that's a we honestly did just make
because the whole thing was it's all about revenge because Black Manta hooked up with this Black Atlantean woman to produce this kid and he never knew. There's a whole dude. You could get this whole alternate universe and Michael Keaton. And DC would run shop on Marvel with that, dude.
And all you need is enough for one movie because the whole thing is going to get rebooted at the end of this anyway. So you just need enough for one movie. So why not just go balls out with it?
Yeah,
I mean, because it's all getting reset anyway, so why not just go balls out with it? Have Aquaman... No, I'm sorry. Have You know what? Have Aquaman kill Wonder Woman's mom, and then Wonder Woman kills Aquaman, and Mira takes the throne, and we have the two ladies taking over, and they're both battling it out.
You get your lady.
Come on, man. Come on, man. All right. We've done enough. We've done enough for free.
Nope. Sorry, we have not before we leave because we got to give proper justice. If we're going to give justice to the Justice League, why are you leaving out Cyborg?
Because honestly, we don't need Cyborg in this movie.
Hey, can I tell you something too? Cyborg to me has always. I know he went to Justice League early, but he's always been a Teen Titan to me, dude.
That's where he should be, and that's where he should be. That's where he should be rebooted at.
Yes.
So we don't. That's why I don't think we need a Cyborg movie. Maybe you can mention him. We can bring him up. He can have a cam. Like maybe Batman is working. Maybe he's working with Batman, and he's just kind of in the cave with
Regular Scott. Let's just solve problems real quick because we ain't got a lot of time. Let's just make it real quick. As he's solving this great detective mystery, he's calling upon Oracle and Cyborg to go through the web and figure things out.
Yeah, I think that's real easy. Cyborg's given up the superhero life. His dad died in the line of duty or something. I think he's
a scientist. He was a football player, but his dad always wanted him to do the academics. He gave up the superhero life, and he has devoted himself to being Dr. Victor Stone, and he surfs the web, and he's an intellectual now.
Yeah, I think that's easy. Yeah, we don't need Cyborg in the movie, but if you do want to put him in, this is the time where I would have no problem with Cyborg taking a complete backseat and just being a small, regular character. You know what I mean?
I agreed. Yes.
So that's where I'm at with that. All right, great conversation. We just gave away a movie for free. DC, call us, or you can add us at NeedForMarvelVsDC on Twitter. Your choice. It's time for the final blow. What you got for the final blow?
Yes, sir. Man, this conversation really got me good and going. Thank you. It's good. My final blow, I'm going to probably just say, keep reading. Keep reading, and it's not my place to tell anybody to do anything, but be inquisitive. Part of being a nerd is you question things and you want to know why things. I'm going to give you a little thing about my nerdism, which I always bring up is, man, I learned what lasers stood for, light amplification by simulated emissions of radiation, from comic books, dude. I learned like what would happen if this force is met with this from like Marvel Universe, the Marvel Universe handbook. That science fiction is only fiction until it becomes reality. So I appreciate all the nerds who are inquisitive, who question things, who aren't happy with the status quo, and who still like can dream. And like I love all that, man, because like I feel like there's a kind of, it's gonna be hard for us, but there's a good awakening that's happening, and it's due to people like not being satisfied, but like wanting to know more about stuff. And so like we have a good community. Whenever we get our guests on our show, or we're allowed to guest on someone else's show, it's enlightening to me, and it always makes you go, wow, man. There are people that feel the way I feel, that love the stuff that I love, So it's always good. It's always good. I forget sometimes, but when I'm reminded of it, it's awesome.
Okay, cool. For my final blow, as always, I'm going to be shouting out a podcast. Again, Cornbread Fed, the ladies had us on. We had a blast for that. So
they were great. It was so fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Make sure you check that out. And my other podcast, I mentioned my good friend JD earlier. We do our Showdown Pro Wrestling podcast, cheap plug. But JD also has another podcast where he creates stories. It is called the Story Builder Podcast. You can find them on Twitter at Story Builder Pod. and they create all kinds of different stories on their podcast using different elements that you would not expect. Three friends chatting it up, having a great time. Make sure you check out the Story Builder podcast. My good friend JD. He also has new books that are out.
I was going to ask you. I thought he had released a new book.
Yeah, he's got new books coming out, and we are going to have him on the show here soon. I want him to come on and talk about the books because we do all things nerdum, and nerds read too. So definitely want to have him on.
In case you're about JD, that dude is very prolific.
Hey, my man be grinding.
That dude, man, like I don't even know if that's our appropriate word for that cat because there's nothing left to grind. That dude is a hustler, dude.
Hustler might be a bad word.
Oh, it was, and as they say, regular Scott, that dude puts in work, dude. Yeah, he puts in work, man.
Yeah, he's earned it. But so definitely check out the Story Builder podcast. Check out Cornbread Fed. And, I think that's hit on everything. If you have any questions, anything you want Oz to do his Killmonger conversations on, Oz has his conversations, but if you email, you take precedent over his. So if you have something you want him to talk about.
You take control of what the conversation's about.
Absolutely. It's the only time I give up control is when it's for a listener. So
And convince me why Star Wars is great. I need it. Let me know.
Hey, that sounds like a little challenge to the listeners. Listen, if you think Star Wars is great, please email or hit up the Twitter, Need4MarvelVsDC. Email us at Need4MarvelVsDC@GoDefyLife.com. Let us know why Star Wars is great. We'll read them on air. We'll embarrass Oz. You know how we like to do on here. He'll try to retort, but you know he ain't got it. He's a Trekkie.
I'm just saying, man. I ain't trying to be no stormtrooper. I ain't trying to go to the Jedi Council, dude. I'm trying to go to Starfleet Academy, son.
All right, you do that. Oz, tell everyone we'll talk to him next time.
Well, folks, as usual, peace and chicken grease.
And y'all have a good time because we're going to have a good time till we talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Hearse.
No, that is my thing.
Hearse.
What you doing on a Sunday?
What is that?
I tried to do the dog bark, dude. There's nothing. I got nothing.
You do got nothing.
Welcome to the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.